Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Hal did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Cailan knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built. My feelings towards Alistair have nothing to do with it. I barely know him. I simply believe that I am what this country needs. I will fight for what I believe. Would Alistair do the same? Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Cailan's queen. As much as they loved Cailan, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Cailan was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. What say you then? Your support for mine in the Landsmeet? Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. This is in addition to Highever being properly restored to you. That should go without saying, I trust. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your companions. I trust I have made my point. Ignoring that the man looks so much like Cailan, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Cailan as well. And are you so truly eager to pawn the lad off on me anyway? I rather got the sense that you two might be. That is how my own marriage to Cailan began. It still became more, in time. This doesn't bother you? Consider it forgotten. Now, as for the alliance we were discussing. Ah, that's too bad. Marrick's boys are charming, aren't they? And happiest when they have a woman to dote upon. Is that why you support him? The way you speak of him, it simply makes me curious. Well, fair enough. I'll tell you this, my father must be stopped. Once he is kept from the throne, if it should fall to Alistair, then I will be content. Ask me whatever you like. Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband? It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow. Caelan was so idealistic. The world was his storybook and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Caelan would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Caelan dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream he wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down. It was more than just my own loss, but I thank you all the same. They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Loghain is a hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant. That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the lands meet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us. Ask me whatever you like. Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common. Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what How was. And while I despised the man, I knew that Father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from How and not my father at all. We may never know. Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think. I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes. I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Caelan was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Caelan was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine. Ask me whatever you like. Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already. Then I wish you luck, Warden.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
I'm glad you made it safely away. I hear Howe's death has already brought no small amount of cheer to the city. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down. It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Nord Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the lock wheel. Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries, for the defense of Denerim. When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike. If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lass, and very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It was near 1200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, although none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record, but there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Excuse me, the Lady Queen has summoned me to see to her unmentionables. Well, not much. Just, may I air that for you, my lady? She's brought a maid of her own to wait on her. I beg your pardon, sir, but I really can't be...
As you say.
Yes.
Indeed.
Thanks for the help you've given. Unfortunately, I am...
We're closed. Oh, it's you.
The Drake scale armor is done, and it's, well, decent. Few things I'm rather proud of, and it didn't take as long as I feared. Odd.
You'd better be very proud, Wade. We can't afford any more flights of fancy.
I feel good, actually. I wouldn't mind working on Lord such-and-such's armor today.
We'll see how long this lasts. Here's your armor. Now please leave.
Hope you enjoy your armor. I'm glad Heren let me make something decent for a change.
As there is but one way.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
The Maker. They are sinners who have given their love. God.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. Won't find better.
As you say.
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas.
festering sore full of parasites. And that's on a good day.
We are grateful. The compact is renewed.
What do you need? I suppose a noble death fighting the blighted wretches is better than basking in this squalor. They'd better be paying well.
Stay out of our alienage. You too good to listen to elves? What do you want? Money? Money? You think you can buy us? You think we're so far beneath you give us?
I think we better explain things to him.
See your face here again. Someone's coming. Ugh. I knew I shouldn't have cut through here. Bloody knife ears.
Spare a silver for a war veteran? Ostagar, Darkspawn took off half my foot. Oh, Andraste, bless you, sir. I won't forget your face. No, I won't.
That is the Tree of People, I believe. The Venadal.
Nobody is coming here to help us. We have to help ourselves.
Nothing's wrong with me that a couple of pints couldn't fix.
There's no way I'm going near mages.
How can you be here? How many of our brothers and sisters and children have these men already taken?
I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Help them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy? What's wrong, Shem? Did you get bored and decide to come watch the elves die of plague? Wait. Sora's told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though, all the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my Uncle Syrian? And Valendrian? These foreigners have taken dozens of elves into that house over the last few weeks, and none of them have been seen again. One of them was our Haran, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back. They have to know about it. The Haran complained, and so did I. They just don't care, or something worse. He's the elder, the person who guides us. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's important to us. You can try. Those guards mean business.
Is someone there? Maker's blessing to you, child. Be not afraid. I still have some sight to see you by. I appreciate your candor. Most stare. Or worse, the awkward silence. I am a Templar. I lost my sight in a battle with a powerful Maleficar. He called flame from the air and burned my face. The scars have healed, but my sight will never recover. Don't be. Many of my brethren died in that battle. We'd heard rumors that there's an enclave of Maleficarum hidden in the alienage. I have found no evidence of Maleficarum in the alienage. However, there is something else. This place, it's scarred like me. When I came here, I immediately could feel an air of hopelessness, despair. But over time, I felt the wrongness runs far deeper than that. Unless I'm very much mistaken, you're a Templar too, yes? That confirms it. Something is wrong here. I don't suppose I could impose upon you. It took patience, but some elves opened up to me, and I've heard their sad tales. But I found no real evidence to support my fears. Ears alone have done all they can. I was hoping you could be my eyes. Look around the alienage for anything out of the ordinary. I don't know. I have a feeling that there is something to be found, though. You seem capable. I have hope that you will find what I seek. Make her watch over you, child.
What are you looking at?
Myra, is that you? Myra, where are you?
There's nobody to play with me.
There's nothing wrong with me. It's only a cold. It'll pass.
No, you can't go inside just for a moment. So you might as well walk right back around to the front doors. You shouldn't be out on the streets now anyway. What with the plague? What's worse, dying of the plague or dying of hunger? I'll take my chances with the plague, thank you, if it means I get paid. I've been hungry. The novelty's worn off. Not enough to put up with all these questions. What do you want? 6. Sure. I never saw you, and you never saw me.
I ask you to stand back. Some of these people are carrying the plague. The alienage is not safe for visitors.
For your own safety, we must ask you to leave now. You have already been told to leave. Please do not waste any more of our time. You have already been told to leave. Please do not waste any more of our time.
I'm sorry, but we're closed. There are a few places in the market district that can probably serve you. They came to treat the blight plague. You did know about the plague, didn't you? They don't want it spreading to the Imperium. The plague made it to Denerim from the south by trade routes, after all. No reason it couldn't cross the sea the same way. It's magic. I suppose in the Imperium they use magic to boil water and cross the street. The Chantry sent a Templar to watch them the first day. If the Chantry says it's safe, it must be. It's supposed to keep you from getting sick. If you're already ill, though, well, they take you into quarantine. I don't know. Either you don't get the plague because you got their magic put on you, or you don't get it because you just got lucky. But it can't hurt, right? No one who's gone in has come out again. Could be they die in there. Could be they've recovered and just can't come back yet. In the hospice on the corner. Don't think they'll let you in, though. It wouldn't be much of a quarantine if people just come and go there. Good day.
I have been setting down in ink the tales of our exploits, and I have been thinking about ways to describe you. You are unlike any animal I have ever met. Almost human in your intelligence and understanding. So, let me see. You're loyal, yes? That one is obvious. Very, very clever. This is also obvious. You are terrifying when you have to be, but gentle and sweet as a dove at other times. And you are also playful. Sometimes gluttonous. No? What is all this begging for food scraps, then? Well, all right. You're not gluttonous. You're just a lover of fine foods. How's that?
There's no way I'm going near mages.
Who's there? Stay away! I haven't seen nothing. Please, just leave me alone. All right. I saw them take everyone. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Maker, the little one's crying. Through the landlord's old office. They go in there, they never come back. I saw him. They marched him through the hall with a bunch of others, all tied together like pack mules. Every few days, they come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
As you say. As you say.
I'm here.
Help us, please! We're not sick! Let us out of here! Thank you, friend. They took him away already, through the back alley. We don't know where exactly. You don't have to say that twice.
Try not to look too incompetent. It's embarrassing.
What happened? Some of the elves ran out, but I didn't recognize any of them. Where are all the others? Let me see that. What does this even mean? They can't be shipping people, can they? Shipping them where? No. People go in, but they don't come out. They aren't shipping anything out of there that we've seen. They could be moving through the back alleys. There are all sorts of buildings back there. They could be using one as some sort of warehouse, staging area. There are apartments off the alleys. I would go to the back of the hospice and maybe follow the alley from there. If you find any more information, please let me know. I refuse to accept that they're all simply gone.
What have you found?
Of course. I'll do it. It's done.
The house has eyes. But Grandma calls. You're not one of the bad men, are you? I just want to make Grandma happy. Never met her, but she protected me. But I lost her amulet. Grandma, make the voices go away. No, sir. No, sir, indeed. Don't go into the orphanage. The bad men will take you too.
it's good to see you again, friend. You were so generous to me before, and these are other veterans.
I'm an orphan.
Oh, and an orphan. Please, milady, can you spare some coin? Oh, you're too kind. Just too kind.
The Maker preserve you.
Long live the good sir!
It will be done. As you say.
This shield. It's Duncan's, isn't it? That's his crest. Thank you. Truly, I had no idea his shield wasn't with him. This is perfect. I don't know how else to express my gratitude. This means a great deal to me. I can't believe you remembered it at all. I'll treasure this. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
another battle it is! Shall we compete for points?
There is no hope for you now.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
Just leave me alone.
Yet.
It's you. Come in. I didn't thank you before, did I? I wish I could give you something. Everything I owned was lost to looters after the purge. Not that I had anything valuable to begin with. You'll have to excuse me if I seem a little skeptical that a total stranger would break me out of prison for no reason. Nothing comes without a price. What is it you came here for? I'm as good as can be expected. It's sort of a shock to come home and find things this way. Being stupid and hot-headed. The old Arl's son ruined my wedding. A few of us went to take back what he stole from us. I got captured. I suppose I got off easy in a way. I lived. Miss Terranhau's purge and the plague both. Lucky me. I guess the plague's been pretty bad. I've seen a few sick people myself, but by the time I got here, it seemed to be under control. There are mages from Tevinter here helping to treat it. But there's something odd going on, though. My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage. I don't know. You can only find out for certain if it doesn't work. And no one wants to put it to a serious test. Between the Civil War and Ostagar, the city doesn't have enough soldiers left to seal the alienage. And only elves and refugees have gotten sick. I'm sure that if anyone important gets the plague, the alienage will burn. I guess the plague's been pretty bad. I've seen a few sick people myself, but there are mages from Tevinter. My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Of course. Good day, then.
There she is! Now, no crowding. Let the good sir breathe. There are a lot of unfortunates in the alienage, sir. Many veterans, orphans, the diseased, and sad tales of all sorts.
I still don't have my parents.
Yes, sir. And poor Oli still doesn't have his parents. Anything you can spare would be appreciated.
After the riot, many people were left without a home, sir. Don't have a copper between us.
You're like a hero here, good sir. Oli and I hadn't eaten for a week before you showed up.
I, found it?
You aren't a real beggar.
All I heard was there was free coin over here. Fine.
Every one of us. Except the one you rightly pointed out. All of us are unfortunates. Huzzah! Huzzah for the hero of the Denerim!
All of us are eating tonight.
course. Yes.
What have you found? There's been no fighting in the alienage recently, which means the blood is not congealing. I suppose there could be some explanation for it. That's by the orphanage, right? A sad place. Did you find anything else? I'll report that at once. I've heard such afflictions can spread, even from a corpse. I suppose someone may not have known that. One odd thing I am willing to believe, but two is no coincidence. Let's head to the orphanage. Both of your clues were near there. I'm sure your friends can keep me safe. I have faith in you. Let us proceed. The feeling is intense here. This is the right place. I know not if it's the work of the Maleficarum, but there is definitely evil here. You go first. I will follow.